Why am I here? And why do I feel like I have something to say to you on this topic? On any topic. Here's my deal. The main reason I'm here, and I think that if you found me, the reason that you're drawn here is because somewhere along the line you've lost your sense of self. I know I did. I've been working and thinking on this for literally decades. And I put the blame squarely on myself, really. But, because I'm not a victim. But I do put the blame initially on religion and on evangelicalism in particular. Because I was raised in the evangelical church. And I watched everyone around me just blindly go along with authority. And for some reason, I must have been the defective one in the family because that just didn't compute with me ever from the time I was a little boy. Believe me, when you're in the evangelical system, they start young. And man, so as I was growing up, everything I had a taste for and an aptitude for, science, music, particularly rock music, heavy metal, those things were all considered dangerous. Yeah, and I think they are. They're dangerous to lies. In particular, they're dangerous to the kind of lies that religion tells you. Now, if you're a religious person, you are, of course, welcome here. I don't have anything against religious people. If you have something that brings you comfort, I wish I had that. If you had something like that brings you comfort, the existential whatevers of life, good. You're welcome, and I think the other people who are more like me will certainly welcome you. Just don't try to convert us. So thinking about why I started this channel, I started it because I had to. I had to do something outside of my comfort zone. I had to do something outside of my comfort zone to find myself. And it's been a long road, and I've been pissed off. That didn't sound very pissed off. I've been pissed off for a large portion of it because things like being raised in the evangelical church, that's a biggie, have for decades robbed me of my sense of self, that's the ultimate thing you can rob somebody of. So I am here with a newly discovered sense of self that has come back to me through the only things they couldn't kill, even though they tried, which was music and metal, science fiction, sensuality. So yeah, and I want you to get your creativity back too and go on this journey with me. Hey guys, so what do I know for sure? And what do I know that I can share will be of help to you? What I know for sure is I'm coming up on my 6-year sobriety birthday. And about a couple years ago, which coincides with when I started doing some of this stuff with the music and the writing. Yeah, so it was about 2 years ago that just being sober and just not being homeless was just not enough. And it's like the Maslow's hierarchy. There's a reasonable expectation now that there's going to be sobriety and not chaos. I realized my life had gotten really small. I don't mean that in a braggadocious way. It's just hanging around the house, just barely scraping by, not playing. But, I used to have a job that served a lot of people every week. Would play me. And part of that cycle of jumping up to the next level of the hierarchy of needs, in this case, part of jumping up to the next level of the hierarchy of needs is just recognizing how deeply and how long my sense of self was gone, and all the drinking and lost opportunities and things are so deeply tied into that, and all the other things that go along with that. Always feeling on the edge and a rush because it's always too late. I always just miss the chance. Those of you who know what I'm talking about will know what I'm talking about. And it was a couple years ago that I just randomly picked up Rick Rubin's book. I heard of him and knew of his work and read it. And Rick Rubin is for sure not to everyone's taste. He was to mine though, and really got me to get going and start doing projects that I'd wanted to do forever. And in having the audacity to actually write, which I believe is an act of defiance and rebellion, to have the audacity to allow yourself to do that, it's given me a lot bigger on my sense of self, on music, on art. It's helped calm down that horrible existential angst around instruments and around playing and writing and all this. So I hope you'll join me on this journey. In the channel description below, you'll find some links where you can get started and or hook up with me and my work, and most importantly, I can be of service to you. All right, here and out. Bye.